I've got full nerd mode going because last night I stayed up a little bit too late trying something out that I really wanted to do. I've wanted to do for a really, really long time. This is not native PHP related. This is just general like web development, pushing stuff out there. It's been something that's been on my mind for years and years and years. Maybe you remember a service called Heroku. I never really used it, honestly, because it didn't support the stuff that I wanted to run at the time. But the promise of Heroku was something that I absolutely wanted for PHP. A little while ago, Laravel Cloud was launched, and I immediately saw the potential. When you can spin up services very, very quickly, like in under 1 minute, which is what it does, and that's incredible, then you change the game about how you can get projects onto the internet. The next question is, when are we going to get an API that we can do this stuff and automate it and kind of make it all infrastructure as code type thing? And I got access to their API. Yeah, Laravel gave us access to their cloud API. And so I had a little bit of fun. Well, last night I spent just a couple of hours getting Claude to read all of the Laravel API docs, which was a mission of its own because for some reason it couldn't do it just with its standard web reading thing. But anyway, we figured it out. And we read all of the docs. We understood the API enough to write an API client in Laravel and a command and a config file that allows you to express what the infrastructure for your project should be. And it looks beautiful. And it's very, very easy to use. You define some high-level things in your .env, then you come into this cloud config file, you define your environments. You hook it up to your repository, and then you literally configure everything. Now, the Cloud API doesn't support everything the cloud can do just yet. It's still early access, but so I'm really looking forward to fleshing this out with more of that stuff when it's available. But basically, you have this one big config file, and you can do everything in here to set up your infrastructure. And then once you've configured this, it's all full of examples and useful things. Once you've configured this, you can just run a couple of commands. So I'm going to do that now. This is a completely fresh environment. There's no applications here at all. Just refresh and make sure that's still true. Yep. So we're going to deploy this application, nothing to it. In fact, we can look at that. We can just go steve.test. This is just a vanilla Livewire starter kit. I've got my config in place, which Claude helped me write for this application. And the cool thing about it is I said, I want a staging environment and a production environment. So I've got my staging environment defined. And because I've only got one branch, it's going to use the same main branch, but whatever. And I've got my production environment already defined as well. And they have different setups. So different scaling rules, different configurations. I could have all the things set up quite differently. It's not too different right now, but that doesn't matter. So what do we do to get this to actually work? We add just 2 environment keys. You get your Cloud API token, which if you've got access to the Cloud API, you go to Settings, API keys, and then New API. Cool. So you get your API key, paste that in, and then you just need your app to actually be on GitHub. Like that's the place that Cloud is going to look to pull down your repository. So you need to tell Cloud where it lives. Once you've got those in place, save your env file. And now we're ready to run the commands. We're going to do this in real time so you can see just how fast it is, even over the API, to set up all of this infrastructure. We're going to do them one at a time so we can see it all come together. But what I want to do is put the browser side by side with the terminal. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to have this one over here and this one over here. And we're going to do PHP artisan cloud deploy. And we'll start with the staging environment. Now, because this is a completely fresh application, it's prompting me to confirm that I want to take some actions that are, going to do stuff in my cloud account. So it's seeing if the application called Steve, which has just taken the app name from my .env, has been found inside my account. It's not, so it's asking me, do I want to create it? So yes, I do want to create it. Watch what's happening over here. Not refreshing anything. This is just Cloud's UI is just beautifully set, like refreshing automatically. I'm guessing they're using WebSockets for real-time things, which is cool. So the UI just is responsive to what's happening, which is great. And it's already started deploying. This is amazing. It's been just a few seconds and it's running a deployment. Let's see that. There it is. It's a bit hard to see on this screen size, but built successfully. Now it's deploying the build. This is cool now. All from the terminal. This is taking a little bit longer. I think Cloud is having Thanksgiving off. Oh, right. And it's already set up to hibernate, so it's hibernating. This environment is basically ready to go. And let's see what it's done. There you go. It's created an app cluster with hibernation, with scheduler enabled, background processes. We've got our domain. We can hit that. That's going to take a while to come out of hibernation, but and there it is. That's amazing. All we've had to do is type in 2 env keys and run one command. And we've gone from nothing to a working application on Laravel Cloud in a couple of minutes. Incredible. Some caveats. At the moment, the Laravel Cloud API does not let us set up resources like databases, storage, WebSockets, and that kind of thing. When that comes, we'll be able to do the next step, which is to configure the database and all of those things too. One really important thing about this, I think this is going to be great because you're going to be able to share your configuration with your whole team. So everybody knows and can define the configuration in a config file in the project. Fantastic. The important thing is that you need to know when the project has been deployed, where it lives and all of that stuff, so you can keep on deploying. So if we've created this environment, that's fine, but we don't want to create it again. And we handle that too. It creates this JSON file, which is just the metadata from the cloud about this application's infrastructure. So we've got everything here. And if you share this with your team in the project, then everybody should be pretty much up to date and can then just do PHP artisan cloud deploy and then the environment. And it's going to see that it's all cached. We don't need to create any new stuff. And it's just going to initiate a deployment. And there we go. And that's it. So once it's done once, everybody can benefit from it. All they need is their API key to this account in cloud. And we can do the next environment and we can deploy multiple environments at the same time. It will just do them sequentially in the command. This is amazing. This is what I've wanted for my Laravel apps for the longest time. The ability to just write a command to deploy them from the terminal. And it's done.